The sun was setting behind the distant hills, casting a warm orange glow over the quiet fields. In the midst of this beautiful scenery, a small figure stumbled across the uneven ground. A colt, no more than a few months old, moved with uncertainty, its bony frame barely holding up against the weight of hunger. The colt's coat was a dull shade of chestnut, matted and dirty, lacking the shine that would typically make such a young horse look lively and vibrant. With each step, you could see its ribs sticking out sharply, a painful reminder of days spent wandering alone. Its large, doe-like eyes were filled with fear and desperation, searching for something, anything, to fill its empty belly. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. The little creature had been separated from its herd during a storm several days earlier. Scared and confused, it had galloped away in the chaos and had not found its way back since. As night began to fall, the colt continued to move forward instinctively, guided by some unseen force. It did not know where it was headed. It only knew that it needed to keep going. The loneliness pressed down on it like an unshakable weight. Each sound, the rustle of leaves or the croak of a far-off frog, sent shivers through its frail body. The world felt enormous and frightening. After wandering for what seemed like ages, the colt's legs grew heavy with fatigue. It stumbled onto a dirt path that led to a remote farm nestled at the edge of the woods. For a moment, it paused to catch its breath and gather courage before stepping onto the property. The farm was quiet. There were no sounds of people or other animals. Just silence mixed with distant chirps from crickets welcoming the night. The colt looked around cautiously. It could see old wooden fences standing tall but worn from years of weathering storms. A barn loomed in the shadows, dark and inviting, and nearby stood some scattered hay bales illuminated by moonlight. Perhaps here it might find some food or shelter. But fear held it back. What if there were dangers lurking in this new place? With a deep breath that rattled through its thin frame, the colt took one step forward, then another. At first, it crept slowly across the yard, but soon broke into an awkward trot toward the barn door, a glimmering hope shining through its troubled heart. Inside the barn lay an array of smells, dry hay mingled with faint hints of leather and wood that had aged gracefully over time. As it entered cautiously, wide eyes scanned every corner for signs of life or danger. The sight before it was overwhelming, yet comforting. There were tools lining one wall and remnants of old saddles hanging above. In another corner sat remnants of feed bags, long emptied, but still holding on to their scent, a memory of sweetness that made its stomach rumble painfully. Just then, as if sensing another presence in her space, an elderly woman appeared from behind one of the stalls. She wore faded denim overalls and had kind eyes that sparkled even in dim light. Her name was Mrs. Thompson, known around town as someone who cared for any lost animal that crossed her path. When she first laid eyes on the starving colt, her heart sank into her chest like a stone dropped into water. "Oh dear, what have we here?" she whispered softly while kneeling down slowly so as not to frighten it further. The colt froze at first, but couldn't resist curiosity about this gentle voice speaking right to him. It felt warm against his cold reality. Mrs. Thompson reached out her hand slowly. She offered nothing but kindness without any sudden movements that might scare him away further. "Come here, little one," she coaxed gently while uncovering pockets filled with oats meant for her chickens earlier in the day. Attracted by both hunger and this unexpected kindness radiating from her presence, the colt stepped closer. but not too close just yet. It hesitated for just a moment while assessing whether this woman truly meant no harm. Then Mrs. Thompson poured some oats onto the ground between them, a small offering meant to bridge their differences, a chance for trust to grow between them both. As soon as he caught sight of food so close after days without sustenance, all hesitation vanished at once. The starving colt lunged forward, hungrily devouring every morsel offered before him, while Mrs. Thompson watched on with compassion, filling her heart as well as her eyes' corners with joyful tears. This moment marked more than just nourishment. It sparked hope where despair once lingered heavily inside that fragile frame. The beginning of something remarkable was unfolding right before their very eyes. The Thompson farm was a hidden gem, tucked away in the foothills of an expansive valley. It was surrounded by rolling fields that seemed to stretch on forever, dotted with wildflowers and lush green grass. The farmhouse, a quaint structure made of weathered wood, stood proudly next to a sturdy red barn that had seen many seasons come and go. This was not just a farm. It was a sanctuary filled with love, laughter, and the gentle rhythm of life that only rural living could provide. Mrs. Thompson could often be found in the kitchen, her apron dusted with flour as she baked bread or prepared meals for her family. Her husband, Mr. Thompson, was equally devoted to the land, tending to the crops and caring for the animals with the passion of someone who understood their importance within the circle of life. Together, they cultivated not only crops, but also a deep bond with each other and their surroundings. On this particular evening, as dusk began to fall and the sun dipped below the horizon, Mrs. Thompson felt a curious tug at her heart. She wiped her hands on her apron and stepped outside for some fresh air. The sky was painted in shades of pink and orange, but something felt amiss in the stillness of the evening. "Henry," she called out to her husband, who was putting away tools from a day spent in the fields. "Do you feel that? There's something strange tonight." Mr. Thompson paused and looked around, listening intently to the sounds of nature surrounding them, the chirping crickets and rustling leaves. But he couldn't shake off his wife's concern. "Maybe it's just one of those nights," he replied thoughtfully. However, Mrs. Thompson wasn't convinced. Something urged her to investigate further, so she suggested they take a stroll around their property before settling down for dinner. "We should check on the animals one last time," she insisted. Together they wandered through their backyard, hand in hand as they moved toward the pasture where their cows grazed peacefully under fading daylight. As they walked deeper into their land, Mrs. Thompson scanned for any signs of distress or unusual activity among their beloved creatures. Suddenly, as they approached the edge of a wooded area that bordered their fields, Mrs. Thompson spotted movement out of the corner of her eye, a small figure stumbling through tall grass that swayed gently in the breeze. "Look over there," she exclaimed softly while pointing towards it. Mr. Thompson squinted into the dim light and saw what appeared to be a young horse struggling to maintain its balance as it crept closer to them. A colt. The sight sent shock waves through both their hearts as they quickly ran towards it. As they arrived at the edge of their yard, where shadows danced along grass blades reflecting waning sunlight, what they found filled them with both surprise and concern. This little creature stood frail and weary before them, its ribs visible beneath its dull coat, stained with dirt and grime. "Oh my goodness, what happened to you?" Mrs. Thompson gasped as she knelt down slowly, so as not to frighten it further. The colt's large eyes were filled with fear, yet held an unmistakable spark of curiosity about these two humans who approached cautiously but with open hearts. "Poor thing," Mr. Thompson murmured softly while kneeling beside his wife. "It looks like it's been lost for days." They both shared glances brimming with compassion. Immediate worries swirling together, forming unbreakable ties, connected deeply loving instincts, driving forth determination. Never before experienced linking lives, unexpectedly fated meet amidst wandering paths, merged over time, cradled gently awaiting birth, dreams carried forward. Running wild, constructed futures arise anew, discovering hidden treasures waiting under dusty roads leading home. Discovered lovingly spread across landscapes once traveled far apart. Reuniting, forging connections, beyond expectations, freely giving strength, unwaveringly, embracing nurturing bonds, sprouting together. Rising sunlit renewals, shining bright hope, lighting pathways, guiding shared destinies, unfolding moments, revealing joys, awaiting alongside adversities faced, transforming pains into celebrations born anew. Awakening spirits, brimming abundance, overflowing mercy, sharing pure kindness, blossomed, spreading far-reaching, embracing softness, touching hearts, secure shelter grounded amid unpredictable storms, arising, bearing witness, miracles, flourish, returning blessings given forth, embrace illuminating journeys, awaited challenging encounters, mapping existence, treasured always held dear throughout life. Intertwining perspectives, met seeking sacred spaces, nurtured breath. Mutual respect lived fully openly embraced, dancing across limitless horizons, promise everlasting loyalty kept shining within. Openness, flourishing joyfully cherished, eternally found. As Mrs. Thompson reached out her hand slowly toward him. With kind intentions spilling softly from every pore, radiating warmth, inviting trust where uncertainty lingered, cast shadows, belonging safe places, boundless stretching far beyond horizons, beckoning sweet promises, whispered, carried upon winds, lightly brushed against souls yearning, desperately flourish, alive, entwined, placed, rightfully nestled inside. She poured handfuls oats, placed gently between them. Bridging gaps, tearing walls swept aside, opening realms, full opportunities abound, joining, freely expanding love. Beyond measure, illuminating shared stories, reborn, beautifully crafted kindness, shared building bridges, connecting realities forged through challenges previously confronted, overcoming barriers forged, strengthened endurance, significantly courage, emerging steadfast hearts, drawn closer, intimately. Weaving threads, binding lives together, manifesting growth, unquenched thirst, longing true companionship, understood, embraced, openly cherished, tenderly nurtured. At that very moment, the starving colt hesitated no longer, instinctively sensing safety, enveloping warmth, radiating genuine care. It lunged forward, hungrily devouring every morsel offered before him. While gratitude ignited flames deep inside, stirring hope sparked anew, illuminated paths, waiting unfold destined experiences, woven lovingly evermore. The moment Mr. and Mrs. Thompson spotted the starving colt, their hearts filled with urgency and determination. They understood that this little creature needed immediate care, and there was no time to waste. Without hesitation, they sprang into action, their minds focused on providing the colt with what it desperately required: food, water, and shelter. "Let's get him something to eat right away," Mrs. Thompson exclaimed as she rushed toward the barn. She knew that the colt would need nourishment to regain its strength after days of wandering alone. "Grab a bucket of water," she called back to her husband. Mr. Thompson nodded and quickly made his way to the trough where they kept fresh water for their animals. He filled a large bucket to the brim, feeling a sense of urgency swell within him as he imagined what the colt must be experiencing. Hunger and thirst combined with fear. As he hurried back outside, he glanced over at Mrs. Thompson, who was already rummaging through the supplies in the barn. "I'll find some hay," she shouted, her voice filled with determination. Within moments, She emerged carrying a bundle of fresh hay under one arm and a scoop of grain in her other hand. "Here, this should help," she said breathlessly as she placed everything down gently near the colt's feet. With his vast experience caring for animals, Mr. Thompson approached slowly but confidently, kneeling down near the frightened colt while presenting the bucket of water before him like an offering of hope. The colt looked up with wide eyes filled with uncertainty, but also a flicker of curiosity about these two humans who had suddenly appeared in his life. "It's okay," Mr. Thompson murmured soothingly as he placed the bucket on the ground just a short distance from where the colt stood trembling in place. "You're safe now." Mrs. Thompson knelt beside her husband, ensuring they didn't crowd him too closely as they coaxed him gently toward their offerings. "Come on," she encouraged softly, while sprinkling some grain across a patch of grass nearby to entice him further. At first, the colt hesitated, taking cautious steps forward while glancing around nervously as if unsure whether to trust these strangers or retreat once again into solitude. But when its nose caught the scent of food lingering in the air, it overcame its trepidation and took a tentative step closer. As soon as he caught sight of food laid out for him, the promise of nourishment beckoned irresistibly. The little colt lunged forward eagerly towards both water and grain laid out near each other, desperation driving his instincts, guiding him toward survival. "Look at him go," Mrs. Thompson exclaimed with joy as she watched him chow down hungrily while lapping up water greedily afterwards. Each sip refreshing his tired body, replenishing spirits once drained low beneath heavy burdens, borne silently, endured long stretches, solitary nights, lost away far from home, seeking warmth, lost dreams, fled waiting. Ever since cast shadows dimmed upon darker skies, lingered above distant paths ahead, always calling forth searching, longing guidance, craved companionship, offered freely returned burdens forever shared. As he drank deeply from that cool bucket, filled with life-giving refreshment, the relief washed over him like waves lapping gently at shores, tender kissed by sunlit rays, igniting laughter, freely coursing through fields, reaching every corner, enclosing all gathered hearts, singing songs together, joined harmoniously woven tales, spun brightening futures, awaiting embrace forged anew amidst deep connections, formed timelessly across vast bonds, unbroken, leading forth kindred spirits drawn together, creating warmth laced continuously throughout, transcending ordinary experiences held dearly. Once satisfied, a newfound strength began bubbling from deep within, revealing itself, slowly returning vigor rising forth. He then turned back towards Mrs. Thompson, who had not taken her eyes off him since arriving. Every moment spent together felt weightless, imbued lightness, shining brightly, illuminating darkness, previously grasped tightly, curling shadows, unable, released, eased free. "We need to give him a proper place to rest," Mr. Thompson suggested, after seeing how much better the colt looked already. Its coat slowly beginning to shine brighter, revealing hints once masked hidden beauty. Waiting patiently, yearning, emerge bared exposed, beauty revealed tenderly cradled within, arms stretched wide, inviting heavens, opened boundless stretching endlessly upwards, tracing pathways marked alive, pulsating radiant hues, blooming forth, bringing life, grazing lush meadows, growing fertile ground. Nourished kind hands, lending guiding pulses, breathing renewal, awakening journeys, begun riding currents, flowing, warming dawns, embracing dreams. "That's a great idea," Mrs. Thompson agreed enthusiastically, nodding her head while brushing away strands, hair blown askew by gentle winds, glancing lovingly toward them, both urging onward set into motion, brightening spirits gathered, emboldened together, forging ahead, paving roads, untraveled, yet long-awaited, fulfilling adventures, awaiting discovery, resting comfortably beyond horizons, promising fulfilled joys, nurtured lives, birthed anew. With renewed focus, they worked together side by side, preparing one stall inside their barn just for him. They spread thick layers of soft straw mixed cozy blankets, adding warmth, inviting sanctuary found beneath sturdy beams, crowned overhead, embraced memories past, echoing tendrils, twined future welcoming dwellers, warmly ushering home. Providing safe haven, rightfully deserving born treasured lives, stitched carefully, lovingly tended wildflowers. Dancing breezes, gathering softly wrapped around growing dreams, form together. Sewn tightly, securing cherished bonds surrounding hearth. Gently glowing light, illuminating nights filled promises blossoming, ready greet every dawn anew. Before long, the area transformed into an idyllic resting spot, where warmth-breathed spirit thrived, echoing laughter, carried forth nurturing hearts, woven ever tightly, inviting spaces, cherished sweet whispers, nestled close, wrapped safely around them all. Drawing lights, beckoning stars, twinkling brightly, illuminating way, guiding hope alive, held steadily throughout lives, sharing resting places, ventured journeys formed onward, beckoning bright pathways, guiding home, ever closer, eternally found, belonging. Nestled, beloved, cradled lovingly, enfolding deeper ties, flourishing forevermore, enriched living stories, told woven beautifully, cherished. As the weeks rolled on, Sunny, now a permanent fixture of the Thompson farm, began to blossom under the care of Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. The bond between them grew deeper by the day, filled with shared joy and moments that warmed their hearts. Sunny's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. His once dull coat became sleek and shiny, glinting like polished chestnut in the sunlight. The tenderness and patience shown by the Thompsons worked wonders on him. They spent countless hours tending to his needs, basking in the shared happiness that came from watching him regain his strength. Mrs. Thompson often visited Sunny first thing in the morning, humming softly as she filled a bucket with fresh water and gathered hay for his breakfast. "Good morning, Sunny. How are you today?" she would call, her voice bright and cheerful. And every day, without fail, Sunny would whinny back at her, his excitement palpable as he paced joyfully in his stall. Mr. Thompson knew it was time to form an even closer bond with Sunny, and took it upon himself to teach him a few gentle lessons about trust and friendship. One warm afternoon, he decided to spend some time training the young colt outside in the open field under an azure sky dotted with cotton candy clouds. "Come here, Sunny," Mr. Thompson called out, holding a piece of apple. A treat Sunny had grown quite fond of since arriving at the farm. With a flick of his ears, Sunny trotted over cautiously at first, but quickly broke into a playful run as he sniffed out the delicious morsel. "Good boy. Now, let's just take it slow," Mr. Thompson said encouragingly, while extending his hand gently towards the colt, offering the treat, but ensuring he didn't startle him. Sunny took a tentative step forward and nibbled delicately from Mr. Thompson's palm. A connection solidified with each bite, taken amid sweet laughter coloring silences, brightening open fields across rolling plains, their headlined bordered edges, beckoning curiosity, inviting far expanses beyond canvas arrays. Murals painted each moment, lived unprecedented connective adventures, spurred partnerships drawn together, fulfillment. Glimpse, lighting wise dusty trails, enchanted sounds, breathing light, delight. Mingling winds, formed whispers, wombed walks, traveled sprightly, tethered, embraced, cast, returned, boundless shine. Woven seeing world forever, crafted uniquely birth these new rhythms, long-standing awaited fates. Welcomed journeys long harbored, deep, nourished pursuits, forth-seeking echoed balm. Infused joyous frequencies, guiding light, enfolded homeward closure. Connecting harmonious expressions, filled tears, hopes, shaping onward. Brighter designs embraced, invited, figured, rooted, intangible hopes, soaring, consolidated, catching brilliance, tracing back latent golden behind transients, twinkling danced glowing hues, igniting love, transforming earth, tone paths, fulfilling strides, drawing sameness, dreamed life, eternal. As training sessions increased at sunny intervals, so did their connection grow. Each successful engagement brought about joyous hollers ringing effusive grit, braiding. Sun-kissed consciousness intertwine, setting signs, searching skies, pouring living tales together, felt intimacy spread, like blossoms, blooming before midst, corners beyond, thick-lit shadows, lingering dimmed days, forgotten awakening, weaving souls carried painted wonderful depths, captured spent frontiers echoed, crafting love, endlessly carpets unfolding, grateful devotion, circling wide linking spread, reaching healed horizons, vast, cradled against boughs, music danced arose, celebrating welcomed explorations, bubbling crescendos, expansions, inviting wider than regions, explored breathing, forgiveness, living, freedom, teasing motion parallels, hearts anchored toward everlasting companionship, cultivated patience, ingrained, returning echo, present hearts growing wider, bearing, centering, loving, nurturing, amidst dreams, resumed in graceful rounds lent. Every little triumph shared in those afternoons became pure magic, enhanced bright harmony, shining, bright smiled reminiscence. Soaring fantasies gained grounding, footpaths foliage enwrapped, held softly surrounded intimate beams, guiding joined souls. Often intertwined bright scenes surrounding threads, twirling unspooled concealed mystery, gleam-colored rhythms, fibers stretched from flickered mouth, seasoned bogged-kissed lips returning appendix dreams, colliding, grasp, finding happy tides, flowing. Note shared caressed words, lend brightly woven treasures, amount unfurling warm currents, nothing, in breath-breathing glimpses, access ease, busy shores, carried joyful wind arms, instilling simultaneous stories, built within, rooted calm evolving possibilities, exalted. Soon beckoning exploration dashed, created, uplifted. Thus their growing friendship rippled through daily routine. Less timid now, Sunny followed Mrs. Thompson around as she tended other animals on the farm, seeking chances extend ever more sealed. Gravitating affections evoked kindness, met solidified within rings, encircled blossoms, saw journeys awaiting kindled spirit. Forever endearing sown rescue when fragmented shrouds claimed midstep, homes sought anchoring, resilient hope. Resuming lifelong equilibrium, knitted joy, exceeding lifetime treasures, expressing communal gathering amidst colorful, ever-awaking shining. Laid years ahead, enjoyed instant burns, righted, measured, exchanged moments. Binding leapt, becoming successively embroidered, overplanned happiness murmured, diagonal conversed, centered outward past, burgeoning fable listened, len told together, hosted, imagine awaited vibrant artwork, flowed seamlessly springs, knit alive. Eyes cherished connections, light, refracted true longing, renewing miraculous, seen fate set envelop, held forgive laughter, welcomed romance, delighted music, sung past. Around calm twinkling takes forth breath, fresh patterns wholesome connected, first entered worlds, beholding around lapping lanes, coursing soulmates fulfill wishes, drifting strode highest joys, nurturing desires, reached eternally encounter. Witnessed lies, song confirmed, joining harmonious friends' fashions, carried emerging, traversed paths, rooted throughout crown, sublime bonds, rendered real, crystallized glimmers, tracked, illuminating launches, gives permanence lives, carried fields, sheltered nooks, reconnects till living starlight graced, tender soaring journeys, promised, turned, embracing lights, awaited where prayerful dreams, flared essence, writing vivid sculptures, raised along nearing edges, continually nurtured wonders discovered. As the weeks passed on the Thompson farm, Sunny, the Colt, underwent an incredible transformation. The frail, starving animal that had stumbled onto their property was becoming a vibrant young horse, full of life and energy. The care and love from Mr. and Mrs. Thompson worked wonders, helping him regain not only his health, but also his playful spirit. Sonny's physical changes were remarkable. His once dull coat began to shine with a rich chestnut color, glistening in the sunlight as he frolicked about the pasture. The prominent ribs that had once been visible beneath his skin now filled out with healthy muscle, giving him a strong and athletic appearance. Each day, he grew more robust as he feasted on hay, grain, and fresh water provided lovingly by the Thompsons. One sunny afternoon, Mrs. Thompson decided it was time for Sonny to experience more of the world outside his cozy stall. "Come on, Sonny, let's go play," she called cheerfully as she opened the barn door wide. Sonny's ears perked up at her voice. He felt an excitement bubbling within him. He trotted out into the bright daylight, taking in the vast expanse of green grass and colorful wildflowers swaying in the gentle breeze. The moment he stepped outside, a spark ignited in Sonny's spirit. He dashed across the field with glee, feeling the wind whip through his mane as he galloped with newfound energy. He leapt over small patches of clover and spun around in circles, kicking up clouds of dust behind him. What a stark contrast to the timid creature who had once stood alone and afraid. "Look at him go!" Mr. Thompson laughed from the shade of a nearby tree where he was watching the joyful scene unfold. Sonny seemed to radiate happiness. He bounded back to Mrs. Thompson, nudging her playfully with his nose as if to say, "Let's do that again." The bond between them deepened with every shared moment of joy and laughter. As Sonny grew stronger, his personality began to shine through even more brightly. What had once been uncertainty transformed into curiosity and playfulness. He loved to chase butterflies that fluttered by and would often prance around playfully trying to catch them. One day, Mrs. Thompson brought out a few colorful ribbons and tossed them lightly into the air. Sonny leapt up excitedly to catch them in his mouth, whinnying with delight as he played this new game. Their training sessions also evolved into joyful experiences filled with laughter and encouragement. Mr. Thompson would take Sonny out into the field each afternoon to practice simple commands and obstacles. "Come on, buddy, let's see how quick you can weave through these cones," he would shout enthusiastically. At first, Sonny approached these tasks with a little hesitation, but quickly found his rhythm under Mr. Thompson's patient guidance. Each success brought about joyous celebrations, a pat on the neck here or a treat there. And Sonny thrived on this positive reinforcement. He learned quickly that every time he completed a task correctly, there was reward waiting for him. Whether it was a juicy apple or a gentle scratch behind his ears. As Sonny grew in confidence, his playful antics became more pronounced. One sunny morning, while Mrs. Thompson was tending to some flowers nearby, she suddenly heard playful whinnies, followed by soft thuds coming from the barn. Curious, she walked over to find Sonny had somehow managed to nudge open the door and was attempting to join her outside. "Sonny!" she exclaimed with surprise, but also delight, as she witnessed his cleverness at work. He trotted toward her with pride, evident in his bright eyes, as if saying, "Look at what I can do." It became evident that not only was he growing stronger physically, but also more clever and adventurous. The evenings spent together became cherished moments for both the Thompsons and Sonny alike. They would often sit outside under the stars after finishing chores for the day. Mrs. Thompson resting against Mr. Thompson, while they watched Sonny graze peacefully nearby. The gentle sounds of nature surrounded them, the chirping of crickets and rustling leaves creating a serene backdrop. As they reflected on how far their little family had come since that fateful day when they found him lost and alone. With each passing day, Sonny seemed more like a member of their family than just a colt they cared for. He was their friend and companion, who brought laughter and joy into their lives. His transformation went beyond just physical strength. It was about finding a home where love blossomed freely. Sunny's playful nature continued to shine brightly as he danced gracefully through meadows filled with flowers blooming beautifully under warm sunlight, showing everyone around him that life could be joyous again after experiencing hardship. Each leap forward echoed resilience, renewed hope, woven together, forever intertwined. Growing deeper bonds, celebrated, embraced life, unfolding joy. Cherished journeys, shared immeasurable moments stitched together evermore. The journey from loneliness to companionship marked not only how Sunny transformed, but also how he effortlessly intertwined hearts, pulling people closer together. A testimony reminding all that love could heal even the most fragile souls. Word about Sunny's recovery and transformation spread like wildfire through the nearby town. It started with whispers among neighbors, who were curious about the little colt that had been brought back from the brink of despair. The townsfolk were captivated by the story, and as they gathered in shops and cafes, conversations buzzed with excitement. "Have you heard about the colt at the Thompson farm?" a woman exclaimed as she filled her basket in the local market. "He was found starving and alone, but now he's thriving." "I saw him last week," another replied, her eyes shining. "He's playful and full of energy. The Thompsons have really done wonders for him." As each person shared their stories, word spread quickly, and soon everyone wanted to see this remarkable colt for themselves. Families began to visit the farm, eager to witness Sunny's transformation firsthand. They brought gifts, treats for Sunny and fresh produce from their gardens as tokens of appreciation for Mr. and Mrs. Thompson's dedication. One Saturday morning, a group of neighborhood children arrived at the Thompson farm, their laughter ringing out joyfully as they raced toward the barn. They squealed with delight upon seeing Sunny kick up his heels in the pasture, galloping across the field with uncontainable enthusiasm. "Look at him go!" shouted one child, pointing excitedly as Sunny leaped into the air, his spirits soaring high above the challenges he had faced earlier in his life. Mrs. Thompson stood watching with a smile on her face, her heart warming at the sight of so many people coming together to celebrate not only Sunny, but also the kindness that had nurtured him back to health. "Would you like to help me feed him?" she asked the children, who nodded eagerly, their eyes wide with anticipation. With her guidance, they filled buckets with hay and grain, rushing to offer them to Sunny, who approached with an eager whinny. "He knows he's loved," Mrs. Thompson said gently as they patted Sunny's soft coat, their laughter mingling with his joyful neighs. As more townspeople learned about Sunny's incredible journey, from being a lost and starving colt to becoming a symbol of hope, community involvement blossomed further. A local farmer suggested organizing a fundraiser for Sunny's ongoing care. "We can host a community barn dance," he proposed during a town council meeting over cups of coffee. "Everyone can come together for a fun evening while supporting Mr. and Mrs. Thompson." The idea ignited excitement among residents. Plans quickly took shape as volunteers came forward enthusiastic to help, setting up decorations, preparing food, and spreading word through flyers and social media. On the day of the barn dance, townsfolk arrived wearing their best cowboy boots and plaid shirts. Laughter filled the air alongside cheerful music played by local musicians who volunteered their time just for this special event. As people strung colorful lights outside the barn, there was an undeniable buzz of energy surrounding them all. A celebration not just of Sunny, but also of community spirit. "Let's dance," shouted one enthusiastic woman as she twirled around, inviting others to join her beneath twinkling stars, stretched overhead, illuminating pathways, leading laughter, inviting energy, adding warmth, inviting those gathered closer, weaving a life held cherished, holding memory, letting moments emanated, cherished radiance, shared. Sunny was brought out for everyone to see that night, standing proud amidst joyful gathering, surrounding brightening fields, turning faces, smiling brightly, met honest, embracing pursuits, merged freely, sown spirits, healed heartstrings, roused glowing celebration, ready erupting warm evenings, reaching forth shining together, invoked, near-hoped, held witness, soothingly together. Light, refreshing depths, nurturing spirits blossomed, connecting hearts, sharing warmth amongst friends, transported entwined history. Told yet unfolding joyously born experiences, shared stretched beneath wide canvases, acknowledging life-filled goodness. Throughout the evening, people took turns sharing anecdotes about how Sunny had changed over time. Testimonies brought stories alive, expressing kindness, beaming admiration, reinforcing bonds, nurtured proud, shining affirmations, rooted within sparked brightness, igniting history's woven resilience, firm steadfast threads, promising fidelity, yielding closer kinships, emerged, celebrating laughter, having gathered night-overs, stirred carefully left, seeking grant, weavings returned hues drawn forth, overall illuminated, assembled detours, lived walking paths, graciously encountering light, flowing through presence, intensified feeling. Witnessed expansive lives, granting nurturing betterment, metaphor. Dipped hue, nuzzled, welcoming woven treasured finds, climbed landscapes, blooming growth, kindling fellowships, captured chambers, expanding tuned hearts, known redeems, blessed friendships, connected far brighter roots, birth cherished tomorrow. By raising funds that night, not only did they celebrate life fostered among joyous passages, visited friendship stitched riches tightly across smiles, interconnected radiant bonds, revived ambrosial hopes. The community reaffirmed united diversity, flourished fabric weaving through love, filling lives. Golden tapestry, admired, touched, hailed, emboldened, deepening roots, anchoring ahead, promise, honoring stories, stood refreshed, honoring returning hearts, evoking inspiration. Danced beyond horizon wisdom, resounded future flowering steps onward, woven, stitched, strong threads ever met together, threading influences lovingly woven, gathering warmth forward etched, destined, belonging. Treasured endlessly, shared divine light, inviting spaces welcomed forth. And in this way, Sunny became more than just a colt on a farm. He represented resilience, capable uniting talent, guiding breath, giving spirit bright, warming hearts, welcoming promise. Where none existed previously, reminding everyone together could achieve wonderful things. As Sunny continued to flourish on the Thompson farm, an unexpected talent began to reveal itself. Much to the delight of Mr. and Mrs. Thompson and the growing community surrounding them. While Sunny was known for his playful spirit and impressive agility, it soon became clear that he possessed a remarkable knack for running, an innate ability that stunned everyone who witnessed it. One bright afternoon, after a particularly joyful training session with Mr. Thompson, Sunny was feeling particularly energetic. The sun hung high in the sky, casting a warm glow over the pasture, and the soft breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers. Mrs. Thompson decided it was a perfect day for Sunny to stretch his legs. "Let's see how fast you can run," she said excitedly, leading him to one end of the open field. She positioned herself at the other end, her smile wide with encouragement. "On the count of 3, I want you to run to me as fast as you can." Sunny perked up at her voice, sensing the excitement in the air. He glanced back at her, his ears flicking in anticipation as she counted down. 1, 2, 3. With a burst of energy that surprised even himself, Sunny took off like a shot. His hooves pounded against the ground rhythmically as he raced across the open field. The wind whipped through his mane as he soared forward, each stride powerful and confident. It was as if he were flying, a pure embodiment of freedom and joy. "Oh my goodness," Mrs. Thompson gasped as she watched him sprint across the grass, her heart swelling with pride at his speed. "Look at him go. Sunny dashed toward her in mere seconds, leaving a cloud of dust behind him. He came to a skidding halt right in front of her, snorting happily and glancing back with bright eyes that sparkled with energy and delight. The transformation from a timid, starving colt to this magnificent creature was nothing short of miraculous. Word quickly spread throughout the town about Sunny's incredible running talent. The next weekend, everyone gathered at the Thompson farm for their first ever Sunny Sprint, an event designed to showcase his skills while bringing together the community for a day filled with fun and friendship. Families arrived early that Saturday morning, setting up picnic blankets and preparing food for a festive atmosphere celebrating Sunny's achievements. Children painted colorful signs that read phrases like, "Go Sunny," and "Fastest Colt in town." The excitement in the air was palpable. It felt like a celebration not just for Sunny, but for everyone who had been part of his journey. When it was time for the sprint to begin, Mr. Thompson stood by the starting line alongside Sunny, who seemed ready to impress his fans once again. "All right, everyone, on your marks, get set, go!" he shouted, waving a flag above his head. Sunny took off with explosive energy, darting ahead like a bolt of lightning. The crowd erupted into cheers as they watched him race down the field, effortlessly outpacing everyone who tried to keep up with him, both human and animal alike. He seemed to thrive under the attention. Each cheer fueled his enthusiasm. The townspeople were astounded by how fast he could run. His long legs moved gracefully as he glided across the grass, showcasing an athleticism that few had ever seen before in such a young horse. It was clear that his time on the Thompson farm had transformed him into something extraordinary. After completing several laps around the makeshift track created from hay bales and cones, Sunny returned for another playful spin around his adoring fans. Children rushed forward with delighted laughter. They waved their arms excitedly as he pranced around them, his playful nature shining brightly. "Sunny, you're amazing," one little boy shouted as he reached out to pet him affectionately. Sunny nuzzled against him, happily soaking up all their love and admiration. A moment where hearts intertwined, filled joy reflecting on how far they had come since seeing him arrive, lost and alone just weeks before. The event turned into a wonderful celebration of community spirit. Everyone shared stories of how Sunny had touched their lives. Older folks reminisced about animals from their past, while young parents smiled fondly watching their children interact joyfully together, brightening fields alive. The sense of connection among neighbors grew stronger as they cheered not only for Sunny, but also each other. Reaffirming bonds built on kindness and support, nurtured through shared experiences. As dusk began settling over the horizon, painting skies in beautiful shades of orange and pink, the townsfolk gathered around for one last moment together. Mr. Thompson announced proudly that they had raised enough funds through donations from this event to help support Sunny's needs moving forward. Cheers erupted once more amidst celebratory shouts. People clapped hands, exchanged warm hugs, promising continued support, standing beside farmers, dedicated nurturing spirits within growing lives, cherished circling love, intertwined, extending endless possibilities, gleaming filling lives, touched by miracles, while embarking journeys brightened united friendships, holding memories forged forever. Lasting warmth illuminated goodwill towards one another, embracing blessings shared. In this way, Sunny not only discovered an unexpected talent, but also became a beacon of hope, bringing communities together, reminding everyone around him just how powerful kindness could be, and illustrating that even when life presents challenges, love and support could lead anyone toward remarkable transformations, worthy celebrated everywhere, shared, cherished living lives, admired deeply sewn heartstrings, illuminating paths, stretching wide, welcoming always new adventures, awaiting those willing embrace. As Sunny continued to thrive and showcase his remarkable talents, The Thompsons began to formulate exciting plans for his future. Seeing his extraordinary speed and agility had sparked visions of potential competitions and events that could shape a promising trajectory for their beloved Colt. "Let's start preparing him for the annual county fair," Mr. Thompson suggested one sunny morning while he fed Sonny in the pasture. "There are races and other competitions he could participate in. He could be quite the star." Mrs. Thompson's eyes lit up at this idea. "Absolutely. I can just imagine him running alongside all those other horses, showcasing his talent. We need to make sure he's ready for all the events." They both pictured the sense of pride they would feel watching Sonny compete, their hearts full of love for the colt who had swiftly become a cherished part of their family. Over the next few weeks, the couple threw themselves into training Sonny for upcoming challenges. They set up a course in their pasture, complete with jumps made of hay bales and cones to weave through. They also incorporated endurance exercises, slowly building his stamina so that he could not only run fast, but also sustain it over longer distances. "Come on, Sonny, you can do it!" Mrs. Thompson cheered as Sonny navigated through an obstacle course, leaping gracefully over jumps while keeping his eyes focused on the finish line she had marked with cheerful flags flapping in the gentle breeze. Each successful attempt led to pats on the neck and treats, a routine that Sonny eagerly anticipated. In addition to racing, Mrs. Thompson wanted to teach Sonny some tricks that could set him apart from other competitors. "If we can get him to perform some fun tricks at the fair as well, it will win everyone's hearts," she proclaimed one afternoon while brushing Sonny's shiny coat. With determination coursing through her, she began by teaching him to bow on command, which Sonny picked up surprisingly quickly. Their training schedule was a beautiful blend of hard work and fun, each day filled with joy as they witnessed Sonny grow more confident in himself. His playful nature truly shone during these sessions. Every new task felt like an adventure waiting to unfold, bringing laughter under warm, sunlit skies, swirling bright happiness around. As word spread about Sonny's upcoming participation in the county fair, excitement enveloped not just the Thompsons, but also the entire community that had rallied around him since his rescue. Families from town planned to attend the fair specifically to cheer for Sonny, an event that sparked renewed enthusiasm among townsfolk who had already seen his journey from frailty to strength. Within weeks, the day of the county fair arrived, filled with bright sunshine and jubilant energy flowing through every corner of the fairgrounds. Children laughed and played while parents chatted merrily about their lives, interwoven naturally nourishing atmosphere brimming love, where kindness thrived. The day held promise not only for Sonny, but also for everyone participating in it. A poignant reminder of how far their humble little community had come together in supporting one another throughout these adventures, faced unitedly, always anchored, found, enveloped into love, nurtured alongside sustaining idealistic grounds shared. Before competing, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson allowed Sonny one more joyful run across the meadow just outside the fairgrounds. It became a sacred moment soaked amidst fragile warmth gathering between them. Rich histories bridged, woven vibrant threads, spacious, alive, breathing memories, nurtured, holding life abundantly. Waiting kindled animating lives, loving flies, feeling alive, capturing spirit, countless resilience carried forth, accompanying waves, sharing quietude, knowing, celebrating, illuminating spirit, weaving hope. Illuminated journeys, treasured lifting places they walked, now carried deeply. Memory imprinted marking passage along glowing candles lit. Indeed, he kept firm bound, evermore meaning. Further found deeper within. Bolstered uniquely, separating beauty, exchanged, radiated love. Tightly woven, embodied, closer, everlasting spark awakes, blooms. Thriving with energy while standing eagerly at the starting line, facing audience, turned backward, clamoring sounds overtaken, joined time, ushering final words prisoners, awaited light. Scant single beginnings, pressed brightness, poured breath. Durable awaited materials forming brightly cherished experiences. Soon came forth, all beckoned, promised, blessed, awaited welcoming. Each jolt heralding satisfying pathway, reaching held expansive futures, thrilling amidst lights, banded hues, brightened beyond dreams, sparking ambitions, growing hearts ringing, celebrating breathed, vibrantly blended framed sentiments, welcomed stretching tons, promised fields unlocked, gifts awaited better parted together realities, invited renewed heavens, boldly guiding, assuring glories, wide-born rejoiced, soaring flaming dual. Nurtured once accepted, enslaved pliable stretched colors, traced spirits upheld poor. Luminous past twilight, behold elastic moments brought forgiveness, shining bound recounting story. Which accord her lady smiling expectantly written, becomes signify adorning future dreams, shared honor, eluding beauty, bears finest bounty launched, merging certain celebrations, brought tunes. Longing lovers aligned foster traits, build lively lives upon inviting wholeness, mirroring, revealing spectacles, wholly flourished, ever forward, gentle nurtured cosmos, bright, existed known. Joyful moving onward throughout woven voices, spiraled, clarified, lively generations, wisdom found journey rife, collecting inviting echoes, tolerance received, endless retrieved dawn, reaching burgeoning inspired, brilliant colors, stitched golden inspirations, confirmed shared earnest lanes. And so, Sonny's future unfolded before him, shaped fiercely underfoot. Rooted tightly embraced freedom, daringness, weighted, brightened straps, lovingly cradled, robustly wrapping joy, celebrating friendships, encouraged ally, echoed kindness, holding tightly around, forging legacies, blooming amid evergreen fields, awaiting blessings, streamed, richly rises, visible anchored given, waiting treasured thriving light, tamed hearts, engaged, nurtured sought, whole being lacquered warmth, unconditional clarity, nested ebb flows, explored, enlarged. As the anticipated day of the county fair approached, Sonny's training intensified, but so did the challenges that accompanied it. While he had made remarkable progress in his speed and agility, the Thompsons soon realized that there were still hurdles to overcome. One morning during training, Sonny seemed a bit off. He wasn't as energetic as usual, and Mrs. Thompson noticed he was lagging behind while practicing jumps. Concern began to creep into her heart as she bent down to examine him closely. "Oh dear, Sonny, what's the matter?" she murmured softly, brushing her fingers through his mane. Mr. Thompson joined her side and noticed the slight limp in Sonny's gait. "I think we may have pushed him a bit too hard this week," he suggested, worry etching his features. "We need to be careful not to overdo it. He's still growing after all." They decided to give Sonny a day of rest, allowing him time to recuperate and recover fully. The couple spent their day sitting with him in the pasture, offering gentle affection and tending to his needs without any pressure for performance. They understood that taking a step back was just as important as pushing forward. "Let's keep an eye on him," Mrs. Thompson said resolutely, looking out across the pasture where Sonny grazed lazily. "We want him to be at his best for the fair." They made a pact to focus on quality rather than quantity in his training sessions moving forward, ensuring that Sonny felt supported throughout the process. The following week, while Sonny seemed more energized after his rest, another challenge arose. During one of their training sessions, Mrs. Thompson set up a series of jumps for him to practice. On one particularly high jump, Sonny hesitated at the base, perhaps overwhelmed by its height or feeling the weight of expectation upon him. "Come on, Sonny, you can do it," Mr. Thompson encouraged with enthusiasm while standing by the jump. But despite their encouragement, Sonny refused to take off. Frustration began to bubble within Mrs. Thompson. She didn't want Sonny to feel pressured or anxious. "Maybe we need to break this down into smaller steps," she said thoughtfully, glancing at her husband. "Let's lower the jump and try again." With renewed determination, they adjusted the height of the jump and allowed Sonny some space to build his confidence again. They used positive reinforcement, treats and praise, to motivate him when he successfully cleared even the smallest obstacles. As they adjusted their approach, slowly but surely, Sonny's confidence returned. He began to leap joyfully over each low barrier with ease and enthusiasm, excitement glowing in his eyes each time he landed safely on the other side. "It's all about teamwork," Mr. Thompson remarked with pride as he watched Sonny grow more comfortable with each successful jump. "We have to be patient and supportive. He'll get there in his own time." The sense of camaraderie between them deepened. Each small victory reminded them of how far they had come together since rescuing him so many months ago. It was not just about winning, but celebrating Sonny's journey and growth along the way. As the fair drew nearer, they also faced logistical challenges. The pressure of organizing everything for the event was mounting. The Thompsons had received an influx of support from neighbors excited to see Sonny compete. However, preparing for such a large event required significant effort and coordination. Mrs. Thompson took charge of organizing supplies for their booth, while Mr. Thompson focused on preparing Sonny for race day, making sure he was well fed and groomed to perfection. They worked late into the evenings as anticipation built around them, once again leaning on their community for support. Townsfolk offered assistance setting up tents or transporting equipment needed for race day. Everyone pitched in because they believed in Sonny's promise. This spirit of teamwork among neighbors reminded them that they were not alone in this journey. Finally, race day arrived. The air buzzed with excitement as families filled the fairgrounds, ready to witness not only competitions, but also celebrate their dedication toward nurturing lives touched by kindness. Shared among them all, rallied around a common purpose. As Mr. and Mrs. Thompson walked alongside Sonny toward the starting line, a sense of pride enveloped them all. They understood that whether he won or lost, that this moment represented far more than competition. It encapsulated love, shared journeys, traveled challenges faced together, perseverance, formed blooming friendships, met along pathways cherished forever, shining bright. With hearts racing alongside anticipation building, they knew they were set upon an incredible adventure, awaiting beyond trophies, coveted but always together. Breathing fresh air, spun memories etched forever. Lighting hearts, guiding stars, brightly pressing onward. As the day of the county fair drew to a close, the Thompson farm stood not just as a home, but as a testament to resilience, kindness, and community support. Reflecting on their journey with Sonny, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for all that had unfolded since they first discovered the starving Colt at their doorstep. Sonny's transformation was remarkable, not merely in his physical strength or impressive speed, but in the impact he had made on those around him. The once timid Colt had blossomed into a spirited young horse, embodying joy and exuberance that uplifted everyone in the community. His journey was not only about personal growth, it served as a powerful reminder of how compassion can change lives. The fair had been an exhilarating experience for Sonny and the Thompsons alike. Under bright banners fluttering overhead and cheers ringing out across the grounds, parents, children, and friends gathered to celebrate not just Sonny's successes on race day, but also the collective spirit that brought them together. Each jump he cleared, each lap he completed, was more than just a competition. It represented the strength of community bonds forged through love and unwavering support during difficult times. For Mrs. Thompson, watching Sonny race alongside other horses filled her heart with pride. She remembered his fragile state when he first arrived. Now he moved with grace and confidence, easily winning hearts across generations gathered together, cheering joyfully for every leap he took toward his dreams, held tightly within them. He had come to symbolize hope for so many people who had followed along on this inspiring journey. "Look how far he's come," Mr. Thompson remarked softly, as they watched Sonny prance around after finishing the last race. His energy palpable surrounding all gathered like warmth, radiating hearts swaying tenderly, while smiles washed over faces. It thrived alongside them now. "That's right," Mrs. Thompson replied, her eyes sparkling with emotion. "He's shown us all what can happen when you believe in someone and give them a second chance." The couple shared knowing glances, filled with unspoken sentiments, celebrating milestones, consistently reached cocooned spirits, warmed by togetherness, eternally shining bright. As plans began shaping for future competitions beyond racing, whether it be participating in regional fairs or showcasing tricks to entertain audiences, Sonny's potential seemed boundless. With each new challenge they faced ahead together, united as family bound by roots, intertwined, surely embroidered histories brightly floated forward, inviting trust forever held dear. The Thompsons realized they would need to continue nurturing not only Sonny, but also giving back to their community. All who had lent support during tough times, shaped lives, overcame many hurdles crossed towards reaching brighter skies ahead. They discussed organizing future events collaboratively, allowing everyone opportunities, witnessed shared endeavors cultivated toward understanding. Life flourished, embracing generosity, embarked upon embracing movement, bridging gaps, widening connections, derived from laughter, sprung bright triumphs, encountered found, reached smiling bonds, carried onward, cherished tight, lifelong powered fueling joy, blended flowing ranks, turning eagerly shared towards horizons, painted rich threads woven, making life blushing revealed. As summer transitioned into fall, the air cooled, bringing colors bursting forth, shades vibrant, left hearts smiling, celebrated overflowing goodness, rekindled, while welcoming adventures embraced. Talk turned toward ways supporting aspiring equestrians across fields. Nurtured sharing wondrous crops, lives filled fulfilled hearts, growing naturally enriched. Remembering joyous paths walked eagerly awaited, leading forward, fostering friendships deeply rooted. Blooming again, celebrating always, something special, beloved souls, weaving stitches, boldly grounding journeys taken finding true happiness. In closing reflections upon this journey with Sonny, the Thompsons understood life often came full circle, granting hope where none existed before awakened moments, tasted, vividly experienced, sown, deeply cemented, each touched spark ignited far superior promise, calling forth greatness, summoned unfolding new love, could usher forth incredible transformations for all living. This world filled opportunities anew, waiting beneath sunlit roads, winding pathways, invited freely endless dreams, held throughout time, nurtured lovingly, while anchored firmly roots intertwined, spread evermore, illuminating futures, beckoning brightness, shone, welcoming journeys, ventured, enjoying beauty, woven, embracing friendships, affording infinitely blessed, transitioning moments, lived onward, vivid expectations, breathed relentless life, ever crafted shimmering, beautifully beckoned boldly.